a place that I love as well as my Burgeo home 'neath the maiden tea hill. My Burgeo home, that heaven of mine, the home of my parents, so loving and kind. I love them so, and I always will. And my Burgeo home 'neath the maiden tea hill. The harbor's so pretty in the morning sunshine, as the seabirds and robins their sweet notes entwine. The fishing goes shiny in the water so still, here in my home 'neath the maiden tea hill. When I had trouble or if I was sad, I always found comfort from good friends I had. They knew that I loved them and I always will. And my Burgeo home 'neath the maiden tea hill. My Burgeo home, that heaven of mine, the home of my parents, so loving and kind. I love them so, and I always will. And my Burgeo home 'neath the maiden tea hill. With her fishery failing, I may have to roam. Dear God, how I'd hate to leave my dear home. But each night in memory, sure I'll see it still. My Burgeo home 'neath the maiden tea hill. My Burgeo home, that heaven of mine, the home of my parents, so loving and kind. I love them so, and I always will. And my Burgeo home 'neath the maiden tea hill.
Good evening. Welcome to This Week in Review. Tonight's stories include
I can say, I don't know if there's anyone from the committee that would like to add anything to
Computer technology and did a tremendous job.
Employers or anybody else?
8 field right now, but at the time this
more, so please stay tuned.
I am Astar, a robot. I can put my arm back on. You can't, so play safe.
Representatives from the Burgeo Town Council and the Community Advisory Committee met with two representatives from SeaFreeze, Reg Carter and Clayton Ingram, concerning the future of the SeaFreeze plant here in Burgeo. The results of this meeting were made public at a meeting at the Community Center on Monday night. Here are a few highlights from that meeting.
I'd like to give you some background information regarding why the committee was set up and how it was set up and the mandate of the committee. The Council CAC committee was formed after Council received a letter from the Burgeo Advisory Committee, or CAC, on May the 23rd. They requested at that time that such a committee be set up to try to get meetings with SeaFreeze, to try to determine what their plans for the plant are, what their future plans are, or if indeed they had any plans. In the past, as a council and as CAC, both groups have been trying to get meetings with SeaFreeze, but with no success. I mean, I made numerous calls to SeaFreeze, and you left your name and number, and you never get called back, or very seldom. So we felt that by setting up an independent committee, maybe we would CAC committee that had no direct involvement with the fish plant, which meant no one working, say, on the trawlers or the fish plant directly, but of course all of us are indirectly affected by the fish plant. The committee was set up consisting of George Reed, Melton Baxter from the CAC, Gord Tucker, and myself from council. The mandate of the committee was basically we were given three conditions. One was that we would attempt to meet with SeaFreeze to try to determine if SeaFreeze had any future plans for the fish plant in Burgeo, and if so, what the plans might be. Number two, we decided that we would not take sides or debate any issues regarding the fish plant. Number three, that if any information was received from SeaFreeze regarding the fish plant, the committee would bring this information back to the public. That's why we're here tonight. I guess as everyone is aware, the committee was successful in setting up a meeting and meeting with SeaFreeze. We met with them on June 8th. Before we went to the meeting, our committee decided that we would have the town manager attend the meeting to take the minutes, an independent person. And during the meeting with SeaFreeze, it was agreed that the minutes would be written up and approved by both groups before presented into the public. The minutes were finalized on Wednesday, June 14, 1995, which was last Wednesday. On Thursday of last week, June 15th, we had a joint meeting with council and the Community Advisory Committee and passed along the information regarding the fish plant. We then met with the local union executive for the same purpose and passed the information along to them. As I said, I'm sure that most of you have by now heard what information was received from SeaFreeze. I'd like to now give you the information we received. I won't give it to you word for word, but if anyone would like a copy of the minutes from that meeting of June 8th, you can pick them up after the meeting. We have more than enough copies available for everyone here tonight, and anyone else in the community that would like to have one, you can pick one up at the town hall tomorrow or any time after that. I'd like to again remind you that we're not here, the committee is not here to debate any issues that came out of this meeting. We're just here to present the information. I guess just give you, as I said, give you the highlights. If there are any points of clarification from these minutes from the meeting, feel free to ask, and we'll attempt to give you an answer to them. But before I get into that, I'd just like to say that don't shoot the messenger. I'm just presenting the information. The gist of the meeting was, well, we met with, when I say SeaFreeze, well, the SeaFreeze representatives, met with Rich Carter, and Clayton Ingram was also there, our manager at the other town that day. They did come in town to meet with us. We didn't have to go out of town. And so we opened the meeting and explained the purpose of the committee, as I've just done to you here tonight. And we were trying, as we told them, trying to obtain SeaFreeze's position with regards to their operation in Burgeo. We also informed them that we would take the facts back to the people and let them decide on what should be done, if anything. We also pointed out that the committee is not taking sides with anyone, and we generally agreed that in order for the town, I shouldn't say we generally agreed, we unanimously agreed, I'm getting dry here, that in order for the town to survive, we must have a fish plant. We We stated in no uncertain terms that we would like for SeaFreeze to put the facts on the table and explain what the company's position is and what they want from the town in order to make the plant operational. We were advised by SeaFreeze officials, Mr. Carter, that they had a number of issues that would have to be addressed before they look at operating in Burgeo. Their number one issue was cooperation was the number one issue. They felt that they must have total freedom to operate the plant, and they must do everything that is necessary to be competitive and make the operation viable. They also raised the matter of town taxes. They said that town taxes would have to be addressed, and a new tax agreement with the town should be pro-rata with the proportion of the building that they plan on utilizing for the meal plant. Number three, the workforce would have to be hired by the manager, and in all probability, they would be the former meal plant staff, providing they are available and they desire to work at the new operation. The hours of work must be flexible with regard to scheduling work and overtime. Mr. Carter, on behalf of SeaFreeze, felt that the main ingredient would be cooperation with the townspeople in general. It's our plant, it's our future. So start off small and build from there. In that regard, the company is looking into a meal operation at the Burgeo plant. This would involve an input of approximately $100,000 of SeaFreeze money to upgrade the plant prior to startup. It would provide 6 or 7 jobs in the community. Mr. Carter also advised that there may be possibilities for other parts of the plant. He gave, for example, that SeaFreeze would cooperate on a marine service center at the existing marine shop if it did not conflict with your operations and it was a viable option. There's also the possibility of frozen at sea fish. However, considerable work must be done on the saltwater system and proper equipment installed. Mr. Carter said that the right approach at this time would be to start it cautiously with the meal plant and build from there.
Earl McCurdy, president of the FFAWCAW, was in town on Monday afternoon for a meeting with the union. During his visit, he stopped by our studio for an interview. Today, I have Earl McCurdy, who is president of the FFAWCAW. Welcome to our studio, Mr. McCurdy.
Thank you.
I understand you had a union meeting in Burgeo today?
Yes, there's a proposal brought for the company is considering the possibility of opening, doing something with the meal plant. Possibly there being a few jobs there, and so we went in and explained the role of the union in this matter and the fact that of course, the plant in Burgeo is still a unionized plant, and we've in fact been in contact with the company or tried to reach the company recently to set up meetings to discuss their operations in Burgeo. Obviously, the shortage of fish has created a lot of problems, not just in Burgeo, but in a lot of places. And you know, what we'd like to do is work with the company to work out some kind of a plan to, you know, do as much as possible in Burgeo. Obviously, there's not enough fish for provide work for everybody in all the plants in Newfoundland at the moment, and we're not likely to see that again for a long time. But we have told the company we would like to sit down with them and work out an operating plan for the plant here.
Okay, how do you feel about the proposal that has been put forth?
Well, really, so far there isn't one. They've indicated they might be interested. Quite clearly, if they're going to deal with the plant in Burgeo, that's a unionized plant. It's quite clear from the people there that their intention is very much for it to remain that way. And really, Burgeo was a place where a union got its start. I mean, there used to be bumper stickers 25 years ago saying it started in Burgeo, which was referring to, of course, the dispute at the time between Spencer Lake, who then owned the plant, who didn't want the people to have a union. But the decision whether or not to have a union is always with the people who work in a facility, not with the company. And Burgeo is a town with a long record of union activity. But you know, in the union, we sit down every day of the week, practically with different companies to work on plans, to work with them. Often we develop proposals jointly with the company to try and get an extra license or to get more work in a particular location. And we're just as prepared to do that and interested in doing that in Burgeo as you would be in any other building, in any other fish plant. Obviously, we're going through a very difficult period. Hopefully, there will be a turnaround ultimately in the fishery. And you know, our objective with any company where we represent the workforce is to work with the company to try and develop a plan that's in everybody's interest. But you know, it has to be one that's not only in the interest of the company, but also is fair to the people who work there.
Okay, were you pleased with the turnout you had at your meeting today?
Yes, oh yeah, we had an excellent crowd, and in fact, I've never been to Burgeo yet when we didn't have a very good turnout, because over the years, I mean, Burgeo, I mean, to me, it's like a hockey player playing on home ice to come to Burgeo for a meeting, because they're always well attended, always a lot of interest, because really Burgeo is a union town, and was the place really where our union was, the Fishermen's Union in this province was built. Once we got past the historic strike in Burgeo, a couple of members of Burgeo even went down to the United States to set up a picket line to try and, as part of the battle we're in then. We had, remember, a floating picket line when the company tried to bring in, ship out fish by boat, and people really stood up and said, you know, it's not, and having a union, all that's about is the workforce being treated with respect by the employer, and you have to sit down and work out an arrangement that's fair for everybody, and we do that all the time. There's nothing new or startling about it. We think that we'd like to work with the company on developing any possibilities there may be for Burgeo. I believe more is needed from our provincial government. I believe they've got to come forward with a plan for the processing sector. Up till now, they seem to be pretty well hiding their head in the sand and having nothing to offer. So I think we need to see a plan from them as well.
Okay, what sort of a response did you receive at your meeting today regarding Mr. Barry's plans for the plant here?
Well, there's no question that people want to see, I would like to see something develop in the plant. There really is no specific or concrete plan at the moment, other than they stated some general idea that they might be interested in developing something. People would like to see, there's no question, obviously like to get work, but they're also very adamant that this is a unionized plant, and always has been and will be in the future, because they know that without the protection of a union, that they're really on their own. And it's, so that wasn't really there was some discussion on it, but I think what's really needed now is for the company to sit down with the union executive. People did take exception to the company saying, a representative of the company, and I'm not at all sure that this might just come from that particular individual, and saying, no, we're not going to meet with the union executive. Well, of course they are, and they're going to have to, and we'll have to work that out. We meet all the time with all kinds of companies, including with that company. I attended a meeting with Mr. Barry, among others, a meeting with the cabinet committee not long ago. So, I'm sure that this thing can be worked out in a way that's fair to all, we would be glad to do whatever it takes to within reason, to get things moving again. But the company has to also realize that it's not just for everybody to bow over to what they want, but it's got to be a mutually worked out arrangement on a cooperative basis, where we work with them and they work with us. And if they take the same approach to it, we should be able to work something out.
Okay, Mr. McCurdy, is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, I think that probably pretty well covers it, other than to say I think the issues now, there was never a time in the fishing industry in this province when people had a greater need for a union. The tags program is not as good as it could or should have been, but it's a lot better than it would have been had there not been a program to fight for people, or a union rather, to fight an organization to fight for people. Right now, there's an attack on the unemployment insurance program. It doesn't affect people here right immediately because the plant is closed and basically most people are on tags, but in the long haul, it could be very damaging, and we've got to fight that tooth and nail, because it's absolutely against people in seasonal industries. It will cut the benefits paid out in the fishery by 1/3. But we can't put up with that. And we need to have an organization that will fight on behalf of people who work in the fishery against that kind of abuse, whether it comes from governments, federal government, provincial government, employers, or anybody else. The battle of our union has always been to fight for people to be treated with dignity and respect, and I don't think that's changed. Some of the details have changed, but really what it's all about is fighting for a fair shake for our membership.
Okay, Mr. McCurdy, well, we'd like to thank you for taking time out of your schedule to come in and speak to us, and we'd like to invite you to come back anytime you're in town.
Well, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Our guest today is Earl McCurdy, who is president of the FFAWCAW. The primary students at A.J. Matthews School held their sports day at Sandbanks Provincial Park on Tuesday. Some changes are being carried out at the community cemetery. I spoke with Calvin Beveridge, one of the members of the cemetery committee, to find out more about the work being done. I understand that a road is being constructed through the new cemetery here. Can you tell us why this is being done?
Yes, Dave, why we're doing this is that presently we're running shortage of land there for burial sites.
Okay, so how far back are you coming with this work this year?
Well, what our intentions this year, Dave, is that I will, at a later date, give you an update on what actually did happen and various other things that may be discussed at that meeting.
Okay, and hopefully then we can come back and have another look at the final product.
We certainly will, Dave. It's great to be with you.
Okay, thanks, Cal.
Thank you, Dave, very much.
Stay tuned for more of This Week in Review coming up after this.
Hello, I'm Barry Morse. Did you know that about 1% of our population suffers from the disability of stuttering? Well, now there's a new national non-profit foundation that provides help and support for all stutterers. So if you're a stutterer or you know someone who is a stutterer, please contact Speak Easy Incorporated, 95 Evergreen Avenue, St. John, New Brunswick, Canada E2N1H4. Thanks very much.
Friday marked the end of another school year at St. John Central High and A.J. Matthews School. I spoke with Doreen Benoit, principal at A.J. Matthews, to find out how the year progressed. Would you like to tell us what kind of year you've had here at A.J. Matthews School this year?
Actually, it's been a pretty busy year and a pretty successful year overall from a lot of perspectives. I'm pleased with some of the strides we've made in certain areas. There's still areas that we're concerned about, but overall, we have a good feeling at the end of this school year. I'd highlight some of the events during the year that certainly stand out, and one of the things that really stands out this year in terms of improvement is in our technology education. We've been very fortunate to have accessed some computers this year. Last year we put $10,000 worth of funding towards computers, and we bought 5 new 486 computers, and we also got 5 other computers under the Computers for Schools program. And as a result, we've had a lab set up, and since Easter of this year, actually all year we've accessed personnel outside from the outside sources. For example, we've accessed SWAS personnel earlier in the fall, and since Easter we've had the COP program in place. And as a result of the COP program, our technology education has really taken off, because we've had 4 people from that program who were well trained in computer technology and did a tremendous job for us. Aside from these people in the computer lab, the COP program was very helpful to us for our library and for the overall performance of our teachers within the school. We had 8 people in the school since Easter through that program. It's been excellent. There's been a number of activities that I think we can really feel proud of this year related to science, drama, math, music, those types of things. For example, our students again participated in a science fair, but they also participated in a regional challenge. Last year our students won 1st and 2nd place in the regional challenge in Corner Brook area, and this year they won 1st and 3rd place. So we can feel really proud of them from that perspective. Our grade 5s again participated in the swim program in Stephenville, and grade 6s took part in the Marble Mountain program, skiing program. We had 2 very successful concerts. Our primary students had a concert in December, and our elementary students had a concert in this spring. I must say I was very pleased with both concerts, but I'd certainly like to commend our elementary students on their fine performances, because they really put a lot of effort into their work, and it showed. And for sports this year, our students, our grade 6s, participated in a tournament with JJ Curling early this spring, and they did really well. They won 2 out of their 3 games in that sports. So our students are doing very well overall. And the types of activities that our students have been involved in within the school this year have been second to none in the district. They have done some superb reports, research projects, presentations, and they're really good public speakers. That's the area in which we're really seeing a great improvement in our school, is in public speaking. And that's coming right from kindergarten up. We're really pleased to see that. Aside from that, our we've started an enrichment program in our school for our higher academic students, and we're trying to challenge them to go that extra mile. And we've initiated a program called contracting, where a student contracts with the teacher to get time off from class. Now they still have to do the work that they miss, but like for example in math, they would complete their math program quicker, and then they'd get that time off to do other projects. We had 24 students involved in that program this year, and one of the students in grade 5 did a project on rocks and minerals and went over to the grade 8 class and presented. It was so well done. We had some other very fine projects as well. I think that in any school, when we talk about how well the students are doing, we also have to talk about how they're coming about doing such fine projects, and that comes from the teachers and the parents. Students are as good as we help them to become, and our teachers are some of the finest teachers in the province, in my mind. They are very committed. Every single one of them participate in after-school activities with the children, as well as co-curricular activities and working on committees outside of school time. They are to be commended for their work in our school. And the parents, we were going to invite parent volunteers into the school earlier this year and have an assembly for them, and sandwiches and tea. And when we started trying to think about all the parents we needed to contact, there were so many parents that we couldn't accommodate them all. And almost every single parent of the children in our school have participated in our school programs this year, and we certainly thank them for their support. We've always had a great amount of support from the parents.
Okay. What about academic, meaning their marks, their grades? Were you pleased with the grades this year?
Yes. Now, in our school structure is such that we no longer see those grades as you do in high school. At the primary level, for instance, there's just anecdotal reports. Teachers write comments. But our students are doing very well overall, and as a matter of fact, I just signed most of the report cards, and I read all the comments. And there were very few where children are not performing to their potential, especially at the primary level. Children try to do their best, and they're really doing very well indeed. And I'm very pleased there. Now, at the grade 4 to 6 level, I would be less than honest if I said I was totally pleased with the performance at our grade 4 to 6 level. And the reason for me saying that is because I don't think that they're working to their fullest potential. Not that they haven't done well. Overall, the parents will be pleased with the marks that go home, the grades, A's, A pluses. But third term, most of our students drop back quite a lot. As a matter of fact, we would have had higher grades going home had our students worked third term. But many of our students stopped working third term, and we're not happy about that aspect of it. But I am pleased overall with the performance. There are 3 students that we could not promote with diplomas this year at the elementary level. They'll be advanced to their next grades. But if we look back a few years ago, we probably would have had 20 that would not have been promoted. So from that perspective, I suppose we can feel proud. I'm not sure that our students are taking school seriously enough. I think if they took things more seriously and worked a little bit harder, we would see greater results. And a lot of time this term, many students at the grade 4 to 6 level came to school with homework not done.
One not so pleasant topic that comes up every year in June is cutbacks for September. Are there any cutbacks scheduled for A.J. Matthews School for September?
Oh yes, we didn't escape that one either. In the past number of years, we've been losing teachers every single year. And there's really 2 reasons for that, I suppose. Actually, there's 3 reasons. First of all, there's people moving out of town for retraining. Secondly, there are not so many children coming into the school as there are leaving, so we lose there. And what was the other one? I can't remember the other one at this point in time. I can't recall anyway what the other one is. But at any rate, we've lost a unit again this year. And you know, that affects programming. Up to this point in time, we have not lost any specialist areas as a result of declining enrollments. But this year, we're going to be losing one of our specialist areas as a result of that, and that's our music program. We'll still be having music in our school system. However, we will not have a specialized teacher teaching that program. Classroom teachers will be responsible for their music. And that will affect the programs. There's no doubt in my mind that our programs will not be at the level that they were in the past. But these are, when cuts come, we have to try to determine where they can be absorbed best. And at this point in time, that's a choice that we've had to make this year.
Okay, is there anything else that you'd like to add?
Well, on behalf of all the staff at the school, and I did allude to it earlier this year, we've had quite a considerable amount of parent support and community support, and I'd like to thank both the parents and the community for all of their support throughout the year.
Okay, well, we'd like to thank you for speaking to us, and hopefully we'll be back to see you again in September.
Thank you, and have a nice summer. Okay.
Jeremy, yes, by all means, you'll be on. Just Well, boys and girls, I've enjoyed having you in my class. We've had a great year, and I hope you'll have a very happy but safe summer. And I'll see you next year in grade 2. Congratulations to everybody passed. And you're going to go down the hall a little bit next year to grade 2 class. You can come up and visit me anytime. Okay? Thank you all. It's been a great class.
Next week, I'll be speaking to Barb Barter, principal at St. John Central High, to see what progress was made at the high school over the past year. To mark the end of the school year, the kindergarten class held their graduation on Monday night. Six students also had their graduation this past week. Here are a few highlights.
Good evening to all teachers, Mrs. Benoit, students, and parents. Curtis and I are very glad to be on the stage tonight to talk about what we experienced through Pomerant Elementary School. It will probably be very hard to get used to junior high, but I'm sure we'd also have that kindergarten. We got used to it and the rest of the grades, so I'm sure we will get used to junior high as well. First, we will talk about our kindergarten experience. Kindergarten was a ball, most of the time anyway. That is where I met all my friends. They were and still are so nice to me. I remember a few bad times at kindergarten, fellas. I remember one day when Rhonda started crying for a mom. She was in such a state. She has grown since then. In fact, she's almost the tallest girl in class. I hope you don't fall out anymore, Rhonda. I also remember Mary on the second day of kindergarten. She cried because she lost her pencil case. And blamed it all on other kids, and that they didn't for it also. You should have seen the tears. Remember that, Mary? Mrs. Rose Thatcher was our teacher, and boy, was she ever knows. I hope you appreciate that. Appreciate her, Mr. Thatcher.
Anyone wishing to order a copy of the kindergarten or grade 6 graduation can do so by contacting our office. I had an interview this past week with a student placement worker to find out more about student employment for this summer. With me in the studio today I have Connie Billard, who is a student placement worker at the Canada Employment Outreach Office for this summer. Welcome to our studio, Connie.
Thank you, Dave.
How many student positions were approved for Burgeo for this summer?
There were 38 under the summer career placement approved.
Okay, how does this number compare to previous years?
Well, last year there were 51 approved.
Understand that these positions are no longer referred to as challenge programs?
No, Dave, the new title is Summer Career Placement 95.
How many of the summer career placement positions have been filled thus far?
There are approximately 8 filled now, but by the time this goes on here, there will be between 15 to 20 probably.
Okay, I know students no longer have to register at your office, but do you have an approximate number of students that are seeking employment in Burgeo for this summer?
I would say approximately between 55 to 60 students.
Another program on the go for students this summer is the SWAS program. Can you tell us a bit about this program?
Okay, well, this is it's a government program in which a sponsor sponsors a student, which provides them with work, like volunteer work at like a non-profitable organization, like for example the BBS, and the student would have to do 8 weeks of work, a period of 280 hours. The student will be provided with $50 a week and a tuition voucher of approximately $1,200 so that they could continue their education.
Okay, have there been any students hired outside of the summer career placement program or the SWAS programs?
Yes, the Burgeo Motel is our one, which is not under the summer career placement or SWAS.
Okay, Connie, is there anything else you'd like to add?
Well, I would like to welcome any students to come and see me at any time. I'm open to any questions or anything I could do. And whenever the jobs get picked, I'm looking forward to organizing a meeting with the unsuccessful students and informing them after options like the odd job squad. So.
Okay, well, when you get your odd job squad on the go, I'm sure we'll be following you around doing various things such as car washes and things. But we'd like to thank you for coming in and speaking with us today, and we invite you to come back anytime you'd like to address the public or just update us on what's going on.
Thank you.
Our guest today is Connie Billard, Student Placement Worker at Canada Employment Outreach Office. Before we end off tonight's program, we're going to make 2 draws for the Burgeo Recreation Commission. And what are these draws for?
They're for 2 fire extinguishers for people who have paid their pledges within the last 2 weeks. And as of to date, we have about 114 pledges not paid, which works out to probably $1,300 or a little bit more.
Okay, I understand the fire extinguishers are not here yet, but when they arrive, they will be delivered to these people, right?
To these people, right, yeah.
Okay, so do you want to draw or do you want me to draw?
No, you can draw.
Our first winner is Rita Courtney. And Mark and Nikki Porter. So we'd like to congratulate both of those, and we'd like to thank you, Ann.
Okay.
Well, that's it for this week. Thanks for watching. For This Week in Review, I'm Dave Cooper. Good night.